Well, good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I'm excited to share with you guys another smart home / tech home tour. I like to do these every couple months, and there's a lot of them on YouTube, and I've watched a lot of other guys do these, and it's always fun to watch other people and see what they've done to their home. And so I wanted to make another one for you guys, as I've added a lot more things over the last couple months, and just kind of want to give you guys a rundown of some of the things that I've done. That might inspire you to add some cool things to your house if you want to have, whether you want to add them for a convenience factor, a security factor, or just a cool factor. There's always a reason to add some of these awesome products in the day and age that we're living in. I have over, I'd say roughly 60 to 70 different Wi-Fi enabled devices on my network at different times. I average about 58 to 60. And I'm going to just talk a little bit about some of the problems you might encounter with that as well, and how I have solved some of them and how I'm working to solve more of them. In addition to that, you're going to see some of the audio-video components that I have and some of the tech products that I've added to the home. And then, of course, always the smart home products. And let's kind of give you guys just a quick tour as if you guys were coming on over and stopping by. All right? So why don't we begin? We'll start with how you enter the home. Naturally, the front door. And so let's just go over to the front door. And I'm just going to talk about what I have on the front door and what I've done to the front door. Again, this is going to be a really long video, so bear with me. So first and foremost, one thing about me, I like to protect what I have. And so what I've done is I've actually added a reinforced kick plate with 3-inch screws all the way into the studs. It's very easy to kick a door off the hinges if you don't make these upgrades. This is an $8 part you can get on eBay or from Lowe's. Basically what it does, it combines both kick plates with a real solid piece of stainless steel, and then those 3-inch screws go all the way down into the studs, where normally when you, I don't know why they do it, but normally when builders put in doors or hinges or whatnot, they always use these little tiny 1/4-inch screws, and it's really all they do is go into the door frame. So that's only as strong as the bond on the door frame. Very easy to kick out. So I've added this kick plate, or this strike plate, excuse me, and 3-inch screws all the way around. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 screws, 9 screws holding this all together. Very, very solid and strong. Then on all the hinges, I've done the same thing. I've added 3-inch screws going all the way into the studs. This door would be extremely difficult for somebody to kick in. They're going to be making a lot of noise, and it's, not only will they be making noise, but we could take a look at this device here. And this is an awesome device by Equus. And what this is a combination doorbell, camera with night vision, and 2-way speaker. So this basically goes where your peephole would go. You can put it wherever you want. It came with the drill bit. I originally had it in the peephole, but I wanted to keep my existing standard peephole and add this. So I went ahead and added this beneath it. Basically, you just drill a hole in the door, and it comes with this screen, and all it does is basically give you real-time view of the front of your house. It's also got motion detection, so you're going to hear it saying, "Hello, who is there?" in kind of a Chinese accent. You can change that to a chime or a beep. It's limited on how many different sounds it has, but you could also take a picture if you want, and this also has 2-way audio. So I'm just going to stop this for a second here, hopefully. We'll go back. All right, and so what happens is this is Wi-Fi connected. You'll get about 2 months on a charge, which is pretty amazing. It does come with a really long cord, so you can plug this in and charge it at a nearby outlet. And what happens is if somebody were to come over and just ring the doorbell, it'll open up the screen and you can see who's there, and it gives you the audible doorbell, of course. In addition to that, it'll actually ring on the app on my cell phone that there is somebody at my door, and I can actually answer that call via this system and talk to them via the doorbell. So pretty awesome device. That's by the View by Equus, about $300. Now again, of course, you have here, this is a quick set deadbolt, and what I've done here is I've also beefed up the strike plate and screws, and this is great. So if my folks come over, they can just enter their code. My sister needs to stop by, she just enter their code. If I want to go on a run and not carry my wallet, keys, or cell phone, I still have a way to get into my house. In addition to that, this is actually a Z-Wave lock. So I can actually unlock this remotely. So let's just say, I'm expecting somebody to come over, one of my friends, they don't have a code or a key. I can say, "Hey, I'll open up the door for you," and bam, I could open up remotely via my network or outside the network. 2 really great devices. I'll put links to all this stuff in the description, okay? So in addition to that, we have over on the wall here, which looks like it turned off here. Let me turn this back on, or it went into screensaver mode. There we go. So So we have a 70-inch TV by Vizio. Actually, let's skip this. Let's go into the kitchen first. So over to the kitchen, and just bear with me here. I'm in the process of making my smart backyard. I have a hot tub on order. Me and my dad are going to rebuild the pergola. I have all this stuff I've done back here. You know, I might as well take you guys outside for a second here. Let's do that. Hang on one second. Giving you guys a whole tour. So I want you guys to be able to see how things have evolved, okay? And I will be re-recording these videos, you know, every couple months to show you guys the progress as I move forward and the weather gets nicer and things start to come to life, which they already are. Right now, everything's really messy and gloomy outside, but I assure you when I redo these videos, you're going to like it. So we're going to go out the garage right now. And so what I've done here is I've done the same thing I did to the front door as far as beefing up the screws into the door frame. And of course I've added a deadbolt on this here where there wasn't one before. And this is a really inexpensive one. This is a spin deadbolt and it's electronic. It has a keypad and there's no moving parts or no electronic parts in here. Sorry, not electronic parts. There's no motors in here. So when you lock this, when it's unlocked, it's engaged. So all you gotta do is turn it and lock it and then this activates and now it just spins. So you can't unlock it at that point without the code. If you enter the code, it reactivates and you can unlock it just by spinning it. So I'm just going to unlock it there. Okay, so going into the garage here, let me get some shoes on, guys. Now, it's really messy. I don't normally have my garage look like this, but, you know, it is what it is right now. I'm in the process of doing all this stuff. So just got to bear with me while we do this. Get some flip-flops on here. This is one of my vehicles. This is my Jag S-Type, one of my babies. I got 3 babies, but I love this car. I've been wanting it for so long, and I finally got it. Well, I'll be making videos of all this stuff. There is a video on this vehicle already on YouTube, but I'll be making improved videos as time goes on. As far as stuff in the garage, not too much stuff is in here as far as smart tech. Basically, I have a standard garage door opener. I've added this device right there. I don't know if you can see that on the ceiling right there. That's the MyQ Wi-Fi garage door opener. It's an add-on. You basically program it to work with your door. It works at 99% of the garage doors out there and it basically allows you to open or close your door remotely via your smartphone from inside or outside your network. In addition, it has a warning light that goes off and when the door is going to close and it flashes. And it'll tell you whether the door is open or closed with a attached sensor that I have mounted right there. If you can see that. There you go. So it's a nice way of knowing, God, did I close the garage door? You can check your app. Yes, I did. In addition to that, I have one of the YZ cams. It's a magnetic mounted cam. Super cheap, about under $30. You get cloud recording, motion detection, environment monitoring. I mean, the thing is fantastic. I definitely encourage you to check that device out if you want to add a camera to your home. And so naturally over here, I have a kegerator. I love my beer, so I got a Insignia Best Buy kegerator. There we go, the keg of Kolsch on tap there. It's a great way to save money if you like beer and you like a specific beer. It lasts me over 2 months with that thing, so pretty awesome. So just going outside now, I'll give you guys an idea of what I'm going to do. For this door, I've done the same. Now, I'd like to show you guys the security things I've done too. This door actually has a commercial bar I've added, so I can put this bar across, lock the door. I have a double key lock on this here, so even if you break the glass, you can't reach through and actually unlock this. You'd have to climb through the door. In the event that that happens, the motion sensors are going to pick you up and I will be notified and so will the police. So another way to definitely secure your home. This here, let's see here. So let's go outside here. Alright, so really messy right now, bear with me. But I have several Zomato cameras installed all over the place. So they're constantly monitoring the backyard for motion. And they have night vision as well, so this property is always being monitored. This is my backyard. This is all the stuff that's in here I planted over 10 years ago. And it's really messy right now. But once I pressure wash things and get the hot tub in here, the hot tub's going to go right underneath this pergola. The pergola is going to be rebuilt. Me and my dad are in the process of planning that out. The pergola here it's not that it's in horrible condition. It's just the fact that I have a wisteria on top of that I've trained to make a canopy. And unfortunately, this is a pretty small backyard. It works for me. It's great for entertaining. There's plenty of space here to entertain and relax. And once all this stuff comes to life, you'll see when I re-record this video how beautiful this gets back here. Right now, it's just pretty messy. I got a lot of cleaning and yard work to do, obviously. Wintertime kind of knocks the hell out of everything here. And so basically, the wisteria makes a big mess. It produces pea pods and leaves and flowers, and it's just a real nightmare to clean up every year. And it's not that, I can clean it now, and then it's going to produce the flowers. They're going to drop. I have to re-clean it. So it's just something that I don't want over the hot tub, and I'm going to rebuild all this because there is a little bit of rot, and it's going to be a very simple pergola using a sail shade instead of a canopy, and it'll be very easy to maintain. The other day I added these lights right here. This is the Feet Electric. I've done a review on these. These are commercial grade LED string lights. I went ahead and tacked them with some cable tack, so it's pretty neat. It's as neat as it could possibly be. Right in the corner there. And these are absolutely great. Like, these things only draw about, I think it's about 14 watts. Yeah, what is it, 28 bulbs, I believe, something like that. 48, 22 or 23 bulbs, something like that, and I basically just built a little rubber covered cable loop up the top of the tree there, and what that does, that'll help to protect the tree from any kind of damage from the wire. You can see it right there. And these things are great. You can go warm white, you can change the brightness, all with its wireless remote, and I'll show you how I can control this with my voice as well. Another thing I'm going to be doing here is I have an old 32-inch LCD TV my sister gave me that's starting to act up, so I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and mount it with a protective wall box right on this wall here near the hot tub. Make sure it's secure and watertight, so it's not going to be a hazard. It's going to be GFCI protected. And what will happen is when you're in the hot tub with the LED lights going, all these lights on, relaxing, you'll be able to with your voice, use the Google Home, which I have on a battery backup, which I'll show you guys in a second. Be able to say, hey Google, turn on cast fireplace to the backyard TV, and you'll have an ambient fire there, or a fish tank, or you put on a movie, whatever you want, music, whatever. So stay tuned for that. So that's enough about the backyard for now, because there's a lot of work to be done back here. And like I said, when I re-review, you guys, I think, will be pretty impressed with some of the things that I've done back here. So let's go back into the house. Let me just lock this up here. Okay, so we'll mosey on back inside, and let's show you some of the other stuff. So in the kitchen, I haven't done a ton of stuff. I want to keep a couple, and every bulb in the house is LED, so everything's very efficient. These lights up here are just some basic IKEA track lights. I've added LED bulbs in there, and I put these on just a regular slide dimmer because I do want some lights in the house just to work and function like normal lights, just like this IKEA track lighting setup I have right here. These all function as normal lights. I just wanted something that, in the event that the network goes down or something's not working properly, I can still turn on and off lights, and these get really bright. Over to the kitchen here. I've added some inexpensive LED strip lights. Now, I got these way before I got any of the Smarthome tech gear. And so these are very inexpensive, just off eBay. I think they were under 20 bucks. And I just stuck them on, looped them around the back of the oven, and I just leave them on blue 99% of the time. So I don't have a Wi-Fi controller on these. I could add one, and I may at a later date, but right now they're just, if I want to change the color, I got to do it with the remote control. And there's a sensor down underneath that lip of the cabinet. Everything else is pretty much standard you'd find in the kitchen. When I bought the place, none of this stuff was in here. I basically gutted the entire place. I removed everything. The cabinets were like an oak. I painted these myself with a spray gun. All the flooring I ripped out, put in this Armstrong laminate flooring. Again, the cabinets, 2 coats of Kills, 3 coats of semi-gloss, added all the hardware. This was actually a fluorescent light here with this fluorescent kind of plastic cover. It was really ugly looking. I ripped it out, painted and refinished the inside. It gives a little bit of height to the kitchen where the ceiling is kind of low in here. And again, the normal stuff, new fixtures, new dinette. I mean, everything brand new when I moved in here. I just added stuff over the years. This was actually just a cabinet, and I went ahead and just happened to find a wine fridge that fit perfectly in there. So I just mounted it in there and tapped into an outlet behind it, and it looks like it was built in. And again, all the appliances, of course, I added as well. All Frigidaire, and middle of the road kind of stuff. Nothing really, you know, super high end, but it works, and I think it looks nice. One day I will actually replace the kitchen counters with something more like a granite, but for now, I kind of figure if I'm going to replace the counters, I might as well replace the cabinets too. Might as well just get everything brand new at some point. So right now, it's fine for what it is, and eventually I will replace all that stuff. I haven't really determined if I want to go with the dark wood or keep with the white, but at a later date, right? Always a project. Here we just have an electric fireplace. I didn't know where to put it because I have 3 of these, so I just put it down here. I kind of ran out of wall space for these different things I had, because it's, you know, my place is 1,300 square feet, and it's hard to find room with all the stuff that I have. So coming over to this wall, we have a Honeywell T5 Lyric thermostat. This you can turn the temperature up and down via your voice. Matter of fact, I'm getting a little warm in here, so I might as well just say, Alexa, set the temperature to 65 degrees. So, there.
Sorry, something went wrong.
Yeah, sure it did. Hey Google, set the temperature to 69 degrees. Just for you can see. Well, that's annoying. Hey Google, set the temperature to 69 degrees. Well, that sucks. Well, obviously we're having some technical difficulties here. Oh, there it goes. So a little delay. So it is...
Sure. Setting Honeywell Lyric T5 to 69 degrees.
Hey Google, set Honeywell Lyric T5 to 65 degrees.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
See, you have to be very specific. Hey Google, change the temperature to 65 degrees. And see, right now what's happening is we're getting a delay on the network. And this is a problem that I've had for a little bit of time now. There it goes. So due to the delay, for whatever reason or other, it's most likely the router, and I'll explain that at a later date. I have it, or later on.
I can't help with that yet.
Later on this video, that I have a new router coming in the mail because there was an issue with the 2.4 gigahertz network on that particular router. It's just a defect, or I'm not really sure what it is, but it's definitely not working properly. So ASUS is sending me a new one. So stay, you know, I'll re-review that at a later date. So all right, so over here we have this awesome product called the iWall dock, and what this does allows you to mount an in-wall mount an iPad. You can do it with the iPad mini, the iPad Air, all the iPads. They make one specific for the model. You can get it in the gloss black trim ring, or you get it in stainless steel, white. There's several different color options. I went the black because it blends nicely in with the actual iPad. You can almost not even see that there's an iPad in there. It looks like one piece. And you know, I had this iPad sitting around. I barely use it. I remind myself to charge it so I didn't destroy the battery. And now it's always plugged in and ready to go. I had to run a wire, the charging cable, down the wall through the back of the closet here, where there is an outlet for the alarm system as well. So this is really great, and I'm just going to put you down for a second because I'm getting pretty warm right now. And I got to take off this sweater here. Alright, so this thing is really great because, you know, now I have a centralized control panel for my whole system. Whatever I want to do in the house, I can stream music wherever I want. I can basically go, just as an example here, I can go, let's say I want to listen to something on YouTube, right? So we'll go over to YouTube Music. And I just love the fact that it's always built in, and you can remove it as well. And if you want to just use this as your docking station and take it around the house, you can still do that as well. Very easy to just pop it out. Okay, so we're just going to go, not now. And just for the hell of it, we're just going to click something here. Now the sky's the limit with this kind of thing. Just to give you a couple ideas, let me show you something here. So I'm going to go ahead and select. All my TVs are either Chromecast built in or Chromecast enabled. And so if they don't have Chromecast, I can basically, because I pay $10 extra a month for YouTube Red, I can cast to any device in my house using this. Whether that be the bedroom TV, here, as you can see, I have bedroom audio, bedroom Google Home, bedroom TV, both Google Homes. And just for the hell of it, I'm just going to go ahead and select both Google Homes. So you hear the connection. And the Google Home is right over there. As you can see, the music is now playing on the downstairs Google Home and the upstairs Google Home. So pretty awesome. So I'm just going to stop that for now because we don't really need to have Chris Stapleton playing right now. So we're just going to disconnect. And that can be said for casting. Again, I can cast to both Google Homes. One Google Home, I can cast to the audio equipment that's inside that cabinet. I'll show you in a second. I can cast to the TV, to the sound bar, bedroom TV, office TV, backyard TV, once it's there. Whatever I want to cast to, I can. Another great feature with this here is if I want to, not that you'd want to, but you can control the thermostat, but it's right next to it. I have a weather channel. You can have the weather. I can actually also, which is a great feature, view my Zomato camera system from this. So a lot of times I'll just leave this open here where, and I'll show you once it loads up here. So we're just going to go over it. Now, when it first opens up, due to this app, it's going to be in a sideways portrait mode. So you just have to go over and scroll over. We're going to go over to NVR number 2, the 8-channel setup I have. And then once it's open, we can just go over and, whoops, let's try that again. Once it's open, we can expand it. And when we expand it, then it goes into landscape mode. And then you can check out all the cameras. So you can see, you see me right over here. So, I mean, it's a great feature to be able to have something to monitor your home cameras. And, you know, whatever app is available for iTunes, you can have on this. So we'll just leave it on that for now. In addition, inside the closet here is my alarm system. And this I've converted with a device called Connected. And what that is basically a new motherboard or new alarm system panel for your existing sensors. So my home had an alarm system. It had a keypad right where the iWall dock is. I never used it. I didn't want to pay for the service. And what this does, it converts, using SmartThings, your home alarm sensors to a Samsung SmartThings enabled alarm system. So you can turn it on or off with SmartThings. I leave the house, somebody opens one of the doors, siren goes off, I get notified. So fantastic device. If you have an old alarm system that you don't use, definitely check out Connected. It's under $100 and you can convert your system to a Wi-Fi enabled alarm system and not have to pay any fees. Over here, this was a closet, and what I did is I took out the doors, I refinished the inside of the wall here in the sheetrock. I had some shelves in there I took out, and I was able to find a perfect fit glass. It's glass they'd use it, you know, in a store or whatever. I forget the website I found that on, but I was able to find the perfect size. And then these are cabinets you would find above your countertop. And so what I did is I basically built the foundation out of 2x4s, and I basically just let the cabinets overhang. So they're short, you know, they're not deep cabinets, but they fit the space perfectly. I went ahead and took a couple, these are ceramic tiles I got from Lowe's. I think Home Depot was one that cut them. I think I took them to Home Depot. I called them and said, hey, I got this tile, can you cut it? They said, no problem. So these are 18 by 18. They just cut a strip off. I glued them down, and the rest is history. I've also added LED lights on the bottom and the top, so you can change the color of these to whatever you want. These are on an RF remote, which means you have to control them with this. And again, these were before I got involved in all the Wi-Fi stuff. So one day I may change that to being Wi-Fi enabled, but it works. Most of the time I just leave it on this color. So it's just more for ambient light, little illumination. You can turn it blue or whatever, but I just like it the way it is, you know, just without having to mess with it with connect to Wi-Fi. I mean, again, I only connect things to Wi-Fi if something I'm going to change the color often or want that ability to, you know, turn them on or off remotely. So here's my bathroom downstairs here. You know, it's a very small bathroom. I've added these fixtures from, these are from Home Depot, or no, Costco back in the day. And I've added this, some masks I found at like places like TJ Maxx. And this bathroom I'm always kind of confused on what to do with it because it's a small bathroom. But, you know, I had the linoleum put in here. I got this had a pedestal sink, and recently I changed this out with just one of these prefab sink and sink and cabinet. Got this from like Home Depot, I think for like $150. Inside these fixtures right here, I just have two bulbs because it's a little too bright in here with the other ones. And what these are power failure bulbs. So in the event of a power failure, these bulbs, you can actually still use the switch, and they'll have a 3-hour battery backup. So, you know, in the event that, like right now, if the power went out, these would go into battery mode and still give you light. And I have a few of these strategically placed around the house. That's about it for the bathroom. And so pretty much down here, when it comes to smart lighting systems, there are several bulbs. So this fixture here is using a lifx bulb. So I can say, hey Google, turn on the kitchen light.
Okay.
And you'll see that comes on. Again, you could change the color, whatever you want to do with that, you can do. Over here I have the Zomato pan tilt camera. This is actually hooked up to the Zomato NVR drives. Well, if you get a Zomato system, all the Zomato cameras will work with whatever hard drive you have from them. So you can actually add those. This will actually store video footage into the cloud if you want. It'll store it, and it does come with complimentary cloud storage for X number of days or whatever. I forget exactly what it is offhand, but I can remotely turn this camera, zoom in and out, and look at the entire downstairs of my home, and again, night vision and motion detection. This whole wine bar is on a on-off switch, so I can say, hey Google, turn off the wine bar. Actually, that's not the right phrase.
My apologies. I don't understand.
You have to be very specific with the voice control when you have this many devices. Hey Google, turn off the wine rack.
You got it.
And you'll see it turns off.
Wine rack.
And again, I have this set on timers where you can conserve energy. It's awesome. Hey Google, turn on the wine rack. And back on.
Turning the wine rack on.
We also have a couple Sanglid Z-Wave LED bulbs in these lamps here. And these are actually, or no, I'm sorry, I did have those. I have this, just two LED bulbs hooked up to a on-off switch or a on-off plug right underneath the couch here. So I can say, hey Google, turn on the living room love seat.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey Google, turn on the love seat.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that yet.
Hey Google, turn on the living room love seat lights.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's annoying sometimes. Hey Google, turn on the living room love seat lamps.
Sure, for that, you might like Stringify. Want to give it a try?
No.
No problem.
So as you can see, there is obviously an issue right now. Hey Google, turn on the living room love seat.
My apologies. I don't understand.
And this is kind of the issue it has sometimes where it doesn't always, the more devices you have, the more complicated it gets for her to understand what you want to turn on. Let's try a different one. Hey Google, turn on the living room sofa.
Okay, turning on the living room sofa lamp.
So obviously that turned on fine. Hey Google, turn off the living room sofa.
Okay, turning off the living room sofa lamp.
I may not be using the proper terminology with these, or possibly sometimes these switches or these sockets, these Wi-Fi devices, just like your phone, need to be rebooted. They may stay on for a couple months, have no issues, then all of a sudden you might restart your network and you might have an issue. So in this case, what I'll probably do today is just unplug that, plug them back in, let them reconnect with a fresh connection, and I'm sure they'll be fine. And this stuff works 99% of the time. Downstairs here, yeah, we're ready at 28 minutes. All right, so downstairs, I've added a bunch of wall art. Nothing super, expensive, just things I've seen that I've appreciated and liked over the years. I ended up purchasing them. Over here, I'm going to show you guys the audio system here that I have. And so what I did is when I first moved in here, I refinished the fireplace, or actually my dad refinished the fireplace with this marble surround. Lowe's or Home Depot cut that. I basically painted the fireplace with just a high temperature silver to give it a modern look, and my dad did all the work on that. Again, painted the cabinets with the same paint I used in the kitchen. And inside the cabinet here, and this is great because this room has a lot of audio equipment, but it doesn't seem like it does. And this is my original setup. The original setup was my Kenwood. This is an old receiver. This thing works flawlessly. Real old school. I mean, this thing's the VR 2080. $1,000 back in the day. Sounds great. Kenwood Indigo remote. I don't use this stuff that much anymore, but 200 disc changer, DVD player, and this TV was the go-to TV downstairs, and it was a 42 in there, and as TVs have gotten thinner and smaller as far as the bezel, I was able to stuff a 48 Roku TV in there. So that TV still works if you want to watch a movie or you want to throw a game on both TVs. You can do that. If you want to have just a fireplace on, or not a fireplace, but like an aquarium, you can do that. On this system here, for the 5.1 system that I have these flat panel acoustic research speakers. These are absolutely awesome for what they are. I've always been a real fan of acoustic research, and I got these for like $150 for the whole 5.1 system. All stainless steel. They sound great. They look great, and they're very minimal. Like you don't even really notice they're there. And the way they work in this room is that they just seamlessly fit the room. You wouldn't really think there's this much audio equipment in here, but they sound wonderful. And in the event I want to watch something where I really want to crank it up, like a music video, I can do that on this system. There's a matching subwoofer in the corner underneath that end table, a Acoustic Research 10, and then there's a line ran underneath the carpeting. I did all that before all the carpeting was in. And then behind here, I didn't know what to do with rear surrounds here, and it wasn't worth it to me to have the perfect rear surround setup in this room because I didn't want to clutter it with a bunch of speakers. So what I did is I took some old, you can do whatever you want with this, but what I did is I took a couple old Philips center channels, and I mounted two of them behind the, attached to the sofa table, and I have them up firing. So you get some rear surround, you don't even realize they're there, and it's much better than having no surround at all. You can't even tell there's rear surrounds there. Again, not optimum placement, but it's better than having nothing. I didn't want to add in-wall speakers or hang speakers anywhere or put speakers on. I didn't want to see anything. So that's what I did on that there, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So coming over to the big TV, and this is the one that I got after the fact. Once I actually decided that, you know what, I want to put a TV on this big wall, and I want something bigger. I got a 70-inch Vizio Smart TV. This is a 4K TV, and my original idea was to, let me try just a tripod. My original idea was to possibly put in-wall speakers down here, but it would have been such a nightmare to run the lines. I'd actually have to get to the audio receiver in this cabinet. I would have had to actually take out a lot of sheetrock, potentially punch outside the house and use conduit and come back in. And for me, it just wasn't worth it. I said, let me do a sound bar instead. So what I did is I tapped into that outlet down there. I installed two new outlets, the one next to it and one behind the TV. And so behind the TV there is a hidden what do you call it? NVIDIA Shield. Whoops. This damn camcorder, sort of got NVIDIA Shield hidden behind the TV, and that's what you're looking at here. This is a Kodi program that allows you to stream all different kinds of movies. I can stream movies from Netflix on here. I can stream movies using the apps, Netflix, HBO Go, whatever you subscribe to. This Kodi program is something completely different. I'm not going to get involved in telling you guys how that works. There's so many videos out there you can check out. One great guy Solomon. You can check out him, Solomon. That's the name of his channel. I definitely encourage you to check this out if you want to get involved in anything involved or around Kodi. Sorry, I can't talk today. Too much coffee. All right, so it's very minimal. You don't see any cords for the most part. And this soundbar is fantastic. I wanted something. I tried Polk. I tried Nakamichi. I tried many different soundbars before I settled on this one. And I was blown away with not only how good it sounds, but the bass from the subwoofer is phenomenal out of this system. It does come with a wireless sub, which is actually a flat panel sub that I had mounted underneath the love seat here. You don't even realize it's even there. It's right underneath there. I don't know if you can see that. And so that's I believe it's a 6.5-inch sub, and the thing just rumbles. I've never heard a 6.5-inch sub sound that good before. I mean, it plays deep, it's tuned low, and really, I mean, it's perfect for this room. In addition to that, there are some wired rear surrounds. That's something I definitely wanted, just to give you a little bit of that background noise. And I have mounted up here, firing towards the sweet spot, which is the sofa here, a rear surround. And then coming over here, there's a hidden one behind the curtain here. Sound comes right through. You don't even know they're here, and everything is very minimal, and you have a decent sounding surround system in this room. Now, you're never going to get as great a surround sound out of a soundbar as you will a full-blown 5.1 or 7.1 system, but I mean, for being minimal, this thing is fantastic. And to be honest with you, you know, I've been listening to audio a long time, and from what I find appealing, you know, I've had the $2,000 monitor speakers, and I still have them underneath the stairs here. At a later date, maybe I'll use them in a different house, but really, I mean, this thing sounds fantastic. And for what it cost, and for how great it looks, and how minimal it is, I really would see no point in going with a 5.1 system on this TV. Absolutely not. It sounds great. If you haven't tried Vizio soundbars, I tell you, they're one of the best that I've ever heard. And then, of course, you'll notice some blue light behind that. There's a USB LED controller, and there is a small right here dangling down. I just need to tack it. See that little white thing? That's an infrared sensor, and what that does is the TV is actually powering this LED strip, and you can change the color if you want. It's just basically ambient backlighting for the TV. Fantastic. I mean, cheap. It was under 20 bucks on eBay. And again, I'll put links to all this stuff in the description as well. Alright, well I think we kind of killed downstairs. I don't think I missed anything. Let's go upstairs. I need to get a sip of coffee, and let's move forward with the rest of the house, okay? I hope you guys are still stay tuned because I'm having fun showing you guys this stuff. Oh, and let me show you one more thing. You might be saying, okay, well you have a fireplace downstairs. Have you integrated that with voice control or a smart switch? I have not, because I really don't like the idea of putting things on a smart switch that could potentially cost me money. I don't want something to malfunction, have this fireplace kick on, have the house get up to 100 degrees. So I opt to just use that with a manual switch. If you wanted to, there are ways to do it. An easy way to do this, if I was going to, is they make these. I forget what they're called. They're a switch plate. They're Bluetooth. You just put them right over your existing switch, and it actually triggers the switch with a motor. But I'm not going to do that because, like I said, I don't really want that on any kind of potential switch that could turn on. Not that it probably will, but just my own thing. So going up the stairs here, I've added some inexpensive LED lights up the stairs here. These again are on an infrared controller, so if I want to change the color, I got to use the remote. And I always, like I said, I leave them on blue most of the time. And maybe at a later date, I'll upgrade and change those, but here you can just change them to white. And depending on, red, green, and depending on the LEDs you get in the controller, or really the LEDs, sometimes you're going to get perfect whites. Other times, with these inexpensive ones, you have 3 different LEDs that overlap color. So you're never really, if you want different colors besides red, green, or blue, it's not going. You're going to see a little bit of overlap on those lights in order where they combine to make that color. Still not horrible, but just something to be aware of when we're talking about quality of LED. And again, these are pretty old, so you can probably get the newer models for the same price. So coming upstairs, I have some wall art. Just things that I'm into music and stuff, so I really, I can't play anything, but doesn't mean I don't like music. And so what I did here is I added a mirror back there just to reflect the chandelier. This was just an inexpensive chandelier they had where my mom used to work, and they were just throwing it away because it didn't work, and it didn't have the post it was supposed to have. So I basically just converted it to an extension cord and put some LED lights in there and basically have it on a smart socket by iView, and it's plugged in the attic. So this is all voice control as well. As far as what's up here, it's also voice control. In this lamp here, I have this is a power failure bulb, so just like the one downstairs, in the event of a power failure, this light will still work. In the window, I have this on a on-off switch, so I can say, hey Google, turn on the upstairs window light. So that'll come on, and of course, again, it gets confused because I named this upstairs light and upstairs window light, so it sends a signal to both. But nonetheless, that's something you could always change and name it whatever you want. I can also say, hey Google, turn off the chandelier.
I'm sorry, there was an error and I'm unable to control your home device.
Alright, so I kind of thought that was going to happen. I need to reboot that switch in the attic. It just, like I said, some of these things just need to be rebooted once in a while. It's just the nature of the beast, Just like your phone has to be rebooted sometimes. So coming over here, I actually have that particular chandelier plugged into an old X10 device. So wall mounted over here, I have an X10 controller. So I can actually, because LEDs hardly draw any current, and X10 devices kind of leak a little current because they were never really designed to be used with LEDs. Right now, because this switch is technically on, is it on? Yes, the Wi-Fi switch is on and the X10 device is off. So right now what's happening is, because the X10 device leaks a little bit of current, the bulbs are actually on a super dim mode. So I use it as just like an ambient night light. And if I want to turn this bright, I would basically just use the X10 switch on the wall, and I can go ahead and hopefully turn it on. Hopefully we're not going to have too many technical difficulties today. So there you go. So I can turn it on full blast, or I can dim it down as well to whatever I want. And if I want to turn it off again, I will just basically hit the switch and turn it off. Now the X10 switch is off, still leaking a little current, but the Wi-Fi switch is on. So if I want to turn this completely off, I use my voice and my app and I turn off the Wi-Fi switch. Upstairs, I have mounted it inside, or up on the ceiling here, up on the wall, some acoustic research outdoor speakers, and I'm going to show you what they're hooked up to in a second. That's part of a kind of a test I did. I'm integrating Alexa to be throughout the entire house, and so this is just kind of a start to what I've done there. We have a matching speaker on the inside of the office. So again, you can play music through these, whatever you want, but in my case, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. These will eventually be replaced with in-ceiling speakers, okay? Coming over here, we have a couple, some art on the wall, a couple IKEA shelves. This is my office, of course, if I didn't figure that out already. And these bulbs in these lamps are by Flux. They're Wi-Fi enabled LED bulbs. You can change the color, again, work from inside your network or outside your network. They are compatible with the Magic Home app, or vice versa. So these worked with some of the other products I had, like the Wi-Fi controllers, which I'll show you in a second, the strip controllers. And hopefully we don't have any technical difficulties here, but I could say, hey Google, turn off the office lamps.
Sure, turning 2 lights off. 2 lights are off right now.
See, and you can see another glitch here. So again, I know this looks like this stuff doesn't work, but it does. This is a problem with my router, and this will be solved in a couple days here. But in the event that this does happen, I just power cycle them. The router is not assigning IP addresses properly, so that's why there's this problem going on right now, and it's been getting worse and worse. But it will be fixed. So while those boot up there, we'll just go ahead and move over to the fireplace. Some IKEA shelves above this. And these are Flux Bluetooth bulbs. So these ones you don't have voice control, but these ones you can control with your app. You have to be inside your house within range of the lamps, but they work just like the other bulbs. You can change the color, turn them on and off. I just leave them on kind of like whatever color I come in the mood for. Again, a fireplace. This I picked up from Kmart back in the day. This thing here is just really for the looks. I painted it with a spray gun. It was just like an oak color, and it's great. If it does get cold in here, I can turn it on, and if I just want that ambiance, which I could say, hey Google, turn on the office fireplace.
Okay, turning on.
And it comes on. Now, I always leave it on ambient mode and non-heat mode. Just in the event that it kicked on, I don't want heat coming into the room. So if I did want to have heat, I would basically just turn on the heat switch right here. And then coming over to the desk. On the desk here, I have two. These are Singlet Z-Wave bulbs. So I can say, hey Google, turn on the office desk lamps.
Okay, turning 3 lights on.
See, I told you it works. Again, sometimes things are a little finicky, and I will say that I've had more of a problem with these Flux Wi-Fi bulbs than any of the other bulbs in the house. But again, I'll be able to re-review this and kind of give you guys an update once I get that new router. Over here I have a Gateway computer. This is just a prefabbed Gateway quad-core computer. I've had it for several years. It works great. I love it. Very, very functional. I've added a video card, a 1 gigabyte video card, and updated the power supply in that to be able to support. I used to have 5 monitors, but now that they came out with these beautiful, and let me just log in here, these beautiful Scepter monitors, and everybody and their brother makes curved monitors. I never thought I'd want one, but I basically stacked 2 of them, and these are 32-inch curved monitors. They are fantastic. I'd probably never go back to a flat monitor. Underneath that, this is another device by Creative. This is the Creative Katana. This is a gaming soundbar. I've always said they market this under the wrong, the wrong, what am I trying to say? They just market this incorrectly. Hang on, I get some coffee, guys. Sorry. Bear with me. Try not to be too mean on the comments, okay? Alright. Thanks for that. Alright, so what this is basically, it's got LED strip light underneath it, built in. It's got 4 speakers and I believe 3 amplifiers, a attached subwoofer, and it is just a soundbar. But they market it as a gaming soundbar. And guys, this thing is phenomenal. This thing does not distort. It gets super loud. The bass is phenomenal. When I first looked at the subwoofer, I was kind of like, we'll see. Because I've heard many different computer sound systems, and this thing is great. This is something you can use. It has optical in, USB in, Bluetooth. You can use this with not only your computer, but you can use this with a TV. So if you guys are in the market for a soundbar and want to try one out for your television, the only thing is you can't wall mount it. You'd have to make a little shelf or put it on an entertainment center. But guys, if you're in the market, $300, check this one out. If you don't like it, return it. But I'm telling you, the sound of this is phenomenal. So then we have a quad monitor bracket. I just kind of dressed it up with some samurai swords. Some of my video recording equipment right there. Although I don't have a lot of that stuff. Some LED lights that are stuck underneath the lip of the desk here. This is a desk I got from IKEA back in the day. I absolutely love this desk, but one thing that was kind of challenging is to make this look clean with the way that I have the monitors set up, you know, to hide the wires and make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible. And I think I did a pretty good job on it. I love the way it looks. White faux leather chair off of eBay. I need to clean it a little bit. But I'm so glad I went with the white chair because it just kind of blends in really well with the molding, the fireplace, and a couple of the swords and different things I have in this room. Coming over to the side table here, we have this device called the Dida. This is an Alexa-enabled smart speaker. Definitely check out my video on that. And then coming into over here, I guess my parents gave me this TV. I gave them an old 42 I had that I didn't want anymore. This was, what was this TV? This TV was... No, I gave them a couple TVs. I gave them one of my 42-inch LCD rear projection TVs that was downstairs. This was their living room TV, and you know they had a cabinet where they can put that big TV in, and it looks great. And they gave me this TV, so I mounted it just on the wall in my office with a Chromecast, and it's hooked up to a digital antenna. So where I live, I can get about 8 stations. So I'm completely off the grid when it comes to cable, telephone. Everything that I do comes through the internet. And for $38 a month is what I pay for internet for 40 megs a second. Everything that I get, TV, music, everything that you could think of, telephone, comes through the internet. So that's all I pay. I'm not paying a $200 Comcast bill. No, thank you. And I get everything. And then coming into the shower here, I have just an IKEA, same matching fixture as downstairs. I just have this LED lights on a dimmer. You know, it's a bathroom, nothing more, nothing less. And you'll notice I have kind of all matching curtains everywhere. I added these string curtains. They're really cheap off eBay. I love them because they just give you a little bit of privacy, but from outside you really can't see into the house. Pretty awesome. Alright, so let's go into the bedroom, the final place where we're going to wrap up this video. I think we're going to be under an hour, so that's good. So coming into the bedroom, actually before we go in here, well, alright, let's hit the bedroom first. So this is my bedroom, naturally. There's a couple things in here. I kind of went with this beige and black and white theme. King size bed, very comfortable. I'm really glad I got a king size bed in here. It's definitely a nice way to relax. I got this dresser back before I even bought my place. I was trying to save and trying to acquire things, and I got this. And I need to replace this eventually, but I've had it so long. It's like, I'll just keep it till I find something I like that I really like. And this is just a basic dresser I got for free from one of my employers. The rest of the furniture, I worked in a furniture store way back in the day, and he was like, yeah, we're going to throw it away anyway, do you want it? I said, sure. So I took it, I got some black oil-based paint, I got an auto sprayer, and I sprayed the thing. The only thing is, over the years, it's gotten a little banged up, and unfortunately, it was perfect when I did it, and I didn't strap it in the truck like an idiot, and it fell over. But it still works, it's still nice, and I still like it. I've added some, this is Flux LED strip lighting. This is a Bluetooth-enabled strip light. I've done a video, all these products I'm showing you guys right now, I've done a video review on, so definitely check out the actual video if you want to learn more about them. But that gives you a little bit of ambient light underneath the dresser. Coming over here, these are awesome. This is a product, I had this idea, I reached out to this company called Light, and they said, hey, we'd like you to review our candela. And first I was like, I don't know. But they sent me one, and I liked it so much, I had an idea for what I did here. And it had these sconces on the wall, just a candle, and I was like, I never use them, what would work there? So I got these. These are a Bluetooth-enabled fake candle, basically, and they're linked together, and you can control them with the app. And so basically, if I want to turn them on right now, I can just turn them, and they both turn on. They're both synced. Great way to add some ambiance. As you guys know, I love. If I had made it clear already, I really like ambient light. These are fantastic, and you can again control them with the app. I'm just gonna turn them off for now because we don't really need to keep them on. Drain battery power. Great for camping. Great for backyard. Whatever you want to use them for, they're fantastic. Over here, I have this device. It's a fan, and this is by a company called Quilo. And this is the 3-in-1. And this is a evaporative cooling fan. So you add water to it and some ice. It'll basically cool the air temperature. And it's got a lot of good CFM coming out of this thing. So a great fan, about $130 if you're in the market for a floor standing fan. Definitely check out Quilo. I sometimes will put a little cologne mixed in, or a little bit of you can put whatever you want. I put a little cologne in there in the water, just to give a nice little smell into the bedroom as well, like some Tommy Bahama, something kind of tropical. You know, I know you may laugh, but it works. And again, over here, there's just a chair that I picked up at a secondhand store, a lamp. Basically has this one has a, who makes this one? This is the iView bulb. This is a smart bulb as well, so I can say, hey Google, turn on the bedroom chair.
You got it. Turning the bedroom chair on.
Behind this chair, I have mounted right here, on top of the subwoofer for the 5.1 system in here. This is a Aeroside air filter, and this thing removes volatile compounds from the air, removes bacteria, it kills viruses. Great device to really make the air in your home, bedroom, wherever you want to put it, very clean. And they're actually coming out with a newer model soon. I'll be reviewing at a later date. And then coming over to, naturally, the headboard, I've mounted an LED strip behind there, and this is plugged into a RGB controller that is compatible with Magic Light. So I can say, hey Google, change the color of the headboard to red.
Okay,
and there you go.
The bedroom headboard to red.
And I've also done something similar with this piece of art that I have here. It's above a fireplace, electric fireplace. So I can say, hey Google, turn on the bedroom fireplace. And this is hooked up
Turning on the bedroom
to a Sonoff switch. I can do the same here, which I have these linked with IFTT, that if the fireplace comes on, it does trigger the Wi-Fi socket to turn the fan on. And I can still turn it off. I can say, hey Google, turn off the bedroom fan. And that'll kick off.
Turning off the bedroom fan.
In the lamps are lifx bulbs, so those are all voice control as well. And then over here I have a Google Home. Naturally I have a Foobot, and then this device right here is the Alexa Echo with a device that actually gives you a wireless echo. So this thing can be unplugged. You get up to 10 hours of runtime, and it's a actual speaker. So the Echo doesn't have a very good speaker, or the Echo Dot doesn't have a very good speaker in it, and this is a device you can add. It's by a company called 97, and again, I've done a review on all these. You drop your Echo in it, and it makes it sound much better. And you have the ability to take it wherever you want, wirelessly, as long as you're within your network. Same thing can be said about the Google Home. This is an add-on device right here. And what this does basically gives you 8 hours of runtime on your Google Home. So you can move this to your backyard. If you want to bring music, I bring it out there when I'm working in the backyard. I can have my music, my voice control, everything's there. This would be great for when I get that hot tub. I can bring this outside with me and have all that voice control for the music, the TV, and the lights. And let me show you something else. This is a view from upstairs, and you can see the feet electric LED lights there. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of hard to see through the curtain there. And so what I'm going to do is, they're hanging, I know you can't see, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you that I've actually integrated the RM Pro remote control, which is downstairs, which will control, it'll learn RF commands and RF commands. Did I say it right? No. It'll learn sorry guys, I'm rambling on. It'll learn RF commands at 2 different frequencies. I believe it's like 433 and I forget the other one. And it'll learn infrared commands. So, and then it allows you to control any of those devices from outside your network, or in some cases with voice. To do voice, you have to basically add it as a TV. So you're limited on what you can do with it, but I can actually say, because this system comes with a remote right here, to turn on these lights with an RF signal, I can say, Alexa, turn on the backyard string lights. And you will hopefully see that they are, yeah, you can see. They're blue right now, kind of blurry. Sorry we're going through the window here. But they are turned on. I can say, Alexa, turn off the backyard string lights. Alexa, turn off the backyard string lights. And so obviously, you know, like I said, this stuff, naturally, naturally nothing works properly when I'm making a video. But nonetheless, they will turn off. There is just a network problem right now where obviously these things aren't communicating. After the video, I'm going to reboot everything, and it'll be fine. But so over here, this is another device by Lemfo. This is a sort of smart alarm clock. Or not really smart. It's an alarm clock that gives you 2 USB ports so you can plug in your phone. Awesome device. Only about $30, and they were nice enough to send this to me so I can have my phone right next to me in bed. Also in bed, there is a couple of controllers mounted to the headboard. This is for a bed pad I have. That's a heated bed pad, so in the wintertime, you can turn the temperature of the house down and the bed stays nice and warm. With the addition of that, there's a device underneath the bed. I'm not going to show it to you because I did a review on it, called the Bed Jet. And what that does, it's a Bluetooth-enabled heater with a pipe that runs up, and that's the only downfall to it. The pipe is kind of big, so you kind of have a little bit of bulge in the front of your bed. It's not super noticeable, but it does kind of bug me. But what it does, it blows cold or hot air into your bed. And you can control it with your smartphone or the included remote control. This thing works fantastic. And I gotta say, when I first got this device, I was like, what kind of gimmick is this? But after having it, I couldn't be without it. It is fantastic. And I really look forward to using it in the summertime when it's hot. You can blow all that nice air into the bed and keep you dry and have a better sleep. Okay, so what else do we have in here? I forgot to mention the painting. This is a painting that I picked up at like IKEA, or what was it, Ross or TJ Maxx. It has this beautiful kind of etched glass, and I just mounted an LED Wi-Fi strip in there, and I can basically say, hey Google, change the color of the bedroom art to red.
You got it. Changing the bedroom art to red.
And there you go. Coming into the bathroom over here, or my vanity, I have... Again, all this I painted all this thing and added all the handles and fixtures, and I've added a matching Costco fixture there. And this thing is actually on a Z-Wave switch, so I can still control the light just like you would a standard light. Turn it on, you can dim it up and down by holding the light switch, but I can also control it with my voice. I can say, hey Google, turn off the bathroom vanity.
Okay, turning the bedroom vanity off.
So there you go. So you can turn it on or off. Same thing with the bathroom here. You know, jetted tub. I've added these curtains, kind of give you kind of more of a romantic kind of feel there. And you can just say, and here I have two bulbs. One of these doesn't really fit very well. That's just a temporary thing. I'm going to add one is a Z-Wave bulb, and the other one is just a magic light. And that one, I used to have one that fits better as a Bluetooth speaker, but it burned out, so I'm going to get another one. But with the Z-Wave devices, you can actually get one of these too. And this is by, what is this called? This is compatible with SmartThings. And this is an add-on switch. So you can mount this wherever you want. I just haven't done so yet. And you can program it with SmartThings to basically turn on your Z-Wave light. Now I have this set for one switch to be max brightness and the other one to be at 20%. So you can use that, you know, turn that light on without having to use your voice, which obviously, as you see, doesn't always work sometimes if you're having some sort of network issue. Alright, so coming over to the entertainment system for this bedroom. This is where I relax. This is the primary spot I like to watch movies. I like to get comfortable in bed. Throw on, this is a 55-inch Vizio TV, just like the one downstairs. And I have a Acoustic Research center channel speaker that came with one of the sets I got. And I wasn't able to put a in-wall speaker here because the pocket door opens up. And one day I may build something to maybe bring the speaker out a little bit, but I think this looks fine for now. And I've added some double 6.5-inch. These are made, this is very inexpensive in-wall speakers. They sound great because the placement is perfect. The distance is right between the TV, the distance to the bed, the rear surrounds, everything is calibrated and sounds great. And these I just color painted to match. Whole 5.1 system in here, you wouldn't even know it. Again, going to the back of the room, some rear surrounds facing sideways, perfect elevation, perfect location for the setup. And I have inside the closet, this is where all my audio components are. And you might be saying, well, how do you control the audio components? This is a device called by X10. It's called a PowerMid. And what it does, it basically converts your infrared signal to an RF signal, which gets picked up by, here's the closet. And this gets picked up by the other pyramid and transmits it back to an infrared signal, and it bounces off the dresser to the components. Now, as far as components here, you know, I'm not really a gamer, but I have a PS2, which this is actually broken now. This is the Monster Cable Audio Distribution Center. This controls all the speakers upstairs. Any in-ceiling speakers I'm going to add will be run through this, and this keeps the impedance at an 8 ohms, so you can hook this up to your amplifier and not fry your amplifier with this. Turn speakers on or off. An Xbox 360, old school Xbox. This is the Yamaha. This is my Alexa Yamaha. And so what happens is, right now I'm using this Bluetooth receiver okay? And this is linked up to the Alexa. So this is on all the time for the most part. And I have a speaker hidden behind the TV, the two I showed you in the hallway, and then of course, where else? There's one actually mounted outside in the soffit, which is in the attic pointing outside. So if you put music on, you can hear it outside as well. And so what I can say, once I have all the in-ceiling speakers installed and hooked up, this will give you an idea of what is happening. I say, Alexa, Alexa, weather in Las Vegas.
Right now in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds, with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 60 degrees.
Alright, so you can see that that audio, Alexa, went all over the entire upstairs. And so eventually, once all that's done, Alexa, when you make that command, will speak to you, never mind, throughout the entire house. Alright?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Yeah. And so hooked up here, I have an old school fax machine. In the event I want to send a fax, I have a Samsung network attached printer. This is actually a LaserJet printer hooked up to my ASUS router, so you can print remotely through Google, or whether inside the house, outside the house, different network. You can print from the computer, and I wanted to hide all this stuff in the closet because I don't like the way it looks. And so I have this is a scanner. This is a network scanner as well, so I can scan a document and it's be scanned from the computer in the office. Sony receiver, DVD player. I barely even use it. Don't even use it anymore in the day and age of streaming. VHS case I want to watch an old movie or something like that, or old family tape, whatever. And of course this receiver here. And I used to have a different Sony receiver, and the addition of this in this room was a night and day difference upgrading the receiver. It came with a microphone to calibrate the system, and the audio quality of this system is night and day different than what it was before. So I definitely encourage you to upgrade that receiver if you got an old one. Alright, and the final part of this video, and guys, I hope you're still with me. I've had a great time sharing this with you. The final part of this video is this right here. This is a work in progress. This is the network closet. And so I have a lot of components in here. Start off from the bottom. You have two switches here, okay, for all the hardwired devices. These are 100 megabit devices and under. So anything that's gigabyte network does not run through these switches. This is stuff like the old Xbox, the what else is on that? The Uma phone system that I have here, the Alexa phone system I have here, the Magic Jack, which don't require that bandwidth. Basically, the devices I run that are wired on the gigabyte network is my computer. Right next to this here, you have my Western Digital attached storage drives. These basically hold all my movies and my music. One is redundant of the other as a backup. I have the Samsung SmartThings hub, and again with these I can stream anything that's on these to any TV in the house, or any let's see, can I do that? Yeah, any TV in the house can stream the music and video from these devices, and you can also stream it to any tablet or phone. Whatever you want to put it on, you can put it on. Again, this is my router. This is a device called the Finge Box. This monitors the entire network. It shows you on an app on my phone every device connected to the network, and will give you notifications if anything comes within your house or within your network. It's kind of like another means of security. If I notice, basically this thing will track. Let's say like myself, when I'm on the network, it'll show that I am on the network. If I have my sister's phone programmed on here with the MAC address of her phone, you can store that, and it'll say, oh, this person was on this network or within range of the network even X days ago. So a really great way to monitor what's around your house. This right here is an ASUS access point. I added this because my ASUS router, which you can see is the RT AC3200. This is like a beast of a router, and it's unfortunate that I'm having this many problems with it. So that's why ASUS is sending me a new one. The problem is with the 2.4 gigahertz network. For whatever reason or other, I only have 6 devices on it, and it struggles. It's always dropping connections. It's just not working properly. So I added this, and I have all the lifx bulbs connected to this particular SSID on this. It's the same network, but it's on a different SSID. Same thing can be said for up here. I've converted an old Linksys WRT54G to a DDRT firmware, and so this is actually working as an access point. And this I have connected a lot of the devices, the inexpensive devices like the Sonoff switches are all connected. And what's so funny, this device is so old, none of those devices ever have a problem, whereas my $250 router has issues. Some of this stuff here I don't really use so much anymore. The Xbox used to be hooked up to all TVs in the upstairs. You could play it on both TVs, and same thing with the other Xbox, the PS3. I got rid of that because I don't really game anymore. If I'm gonna game, I'll just do it on this TV. So that's just there. Here we have a phone system. There's two phone systems here. One is a Magic Jack, and the other is the UMA, all VoIP phones, so no phone bill whatsoever. Two hard drives, two NVRs. These are for the security system. Everything is being recorded as far as motion detection is concerned. Whenever there is motion, the camera will go into HD mode and record at a higher frame rate. And then, of course, it's backed up to the cloud as well. And then the final piece is this one right here. This is the new Alexa, or the Echo Connect. And what this allows you to do is if somebody dials my UMA number, it'll actually ring on all the Alexa devices in the house, and I can take the call and answer it that way. It turns your Alexa or Echo or whatever product you have, it turns it into a basically a speakerphone or a phone system. So fantastic device. Although I don't use it that much, it's nice that I have it. If my parents call or whatever, somebody calls, I can take the call, answering it on the Alexa device. So pretty cool. And so that's about it for my network closet. Hopefully, oh, and then of course, hooked up to the NVRs, two monitors here, which are constantly on, which are showing me the camera system. So I can really pull up the footage for the camera system on really any TV or any cell phone or tablet in the house. I can view it on the tablet wall mounted. And because this NVR has dual output, I actually can view them on this TV as well. So pretty awesome there. Alright, well guys, I am winded, and I'm sure your ears hurt. So guys, I just wanted to take the time to thank you guys. Whoops. Sorry, I'm not a professional photographer here. Let me put you down for a second here. Alright. Yeah, let me get my coffee. That was a long video. That was the longest video I've ever done. But I know, sorry I ramble on so much. I just, there's a lot to share, and I'm trying to pump it out there in the shortest amount of time. But I hope that you at least got a gist of what I have in my home. Sometimes I forget all these different products. I'm trying to come up with it on the fly. What's this name? What's this do? And, I know we saw a couple technical glitches today, and that does happen. And the more things you have, the more of a glitch you're going to have. And one day, although I'm using a 40 megabit internet connection, which works on most things, I mean, streaming HD, all that stuff, it would be nicer to have a faster connection. And as time goes on and the prices get cheaper, right now I can go up to 60 megs, but for the price, for another 20 bucks a month, about $25 a month actually, is it really worth it? The real issue with a lot of these internet connections, at least with DSL, is that your upload speed is pretty terrible. And so mine's only 5 megabits a second upload, and I use a decent chunk of that with the camera system, constantly recording. So it would be nicer to hopefully getting this new router. If I can get everything connected to one router, maybe that'll make a difference. But I just hope it works out. If it doesn't work out, I'm probably going to try a different brand router, and I'd like to alleviate having all the different access points, just have it under one. Not that it really makes much of a difference, but I've gotten two different stories. ASUS told me that their router can support and the theoretical number is about 250 devices, but there's lots of factors in that. But for a lot of the smart home stuff I have, really nothing right now is using a lot of bandwidth, so I'm not really eating up bandwidth. For whatever reason or other, that 2.4 is very unstable, and hopefully this corrects the problem. I'll do another video and let you guys know what happened. If you guys have any questions on this stuff, don't hesitate to ask. You obviously seem very passionate about technology, and with technology, with the price point these things are coming in at, you got to expect some glitches once in a while. It's just the way it is. Not everything works flawlessly all the time, and naturally if you have a kink in the system like I do, you're going to have a little bit of an issue. But I can assure you that there are days where things just work perfectly, and there are days where it doesn't, and today's one of those days. But overall, I'm very happy with everything that I have. The nice thing about a lot of these sockets and light bulbs, that even in the event if you set up your timers to go on, like for instance when I wake up in the morning, the bedside lamps will slowly warm up blue to like 20% over a 5-minute period. The headboard light will come on right before the alarm comes off or turns on and light up blue. The wall art will go from that red melatonin producing color to blue, kind of start to wake me up. The dresser light will come on. As I'm getting out of bed, the office light will come on as I'm to get my clothes. As I'm going back into the bedroom around that time, a minute, 30 seconds, a minute, the bedroom vanity will come on. Then when I leave, the home goes into a whole different mode. So pretty awesome just to automate your day. I love it. It works for me. And like I said, overall, I'm very happy with all these products that I have. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know, again, if you have any questions. I do thank you if you stuck with me for that hour and 10 minutes. I'm tired now, so I need to get some food here. I haven't even eaten today yet. So, guys, thanks again for watching. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Click like, comment, and there will be links in the description. If you want to make a purchase for any of this stuff, please do it through my links. It does help to support the channel. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in, and take care.